All right, when we did the left side high-low, our first step was the roof. And I showed you, instead of a disarm, how to get around behind him, right? We talked about how it's advantageous for you to not be in front of the guy when he's got his weapon. It's a lot better if you could have your weapon and be back behind him. We can do that also with the shield. So now we're going to use the shield to roll around his weapon and get around behind him in much the same way. It's actually, I think it's even quicker and easier. It comes up as it intercepts that downward hit on your stick. We're going to rolling the puño this way. You just turn your hand so that the tip, the puño, faces him, and then keep turning it until the stick. And we're going to step with the left foot as you do that turn. That's actually hitting him, right? That's where his head is. So this is his weapon you just blocked. You roll around it, it passes by, and you hit him in the head. You check his arm, and you swing the right leg around, and you'll be behind him at that point, right? The harder they hit here, the faster it spins as you hit them in the head. And that's all we're doing. We're simply turning the stick, doing about a little past 180 as you step forward, right? 270 maybe. Turn, boom, to where it hits him. We're checking his arm already as we step forward, and then you swing your other leg around, and you'll be behind him, and you'll have that position from behind, right? So we're going to give it a look at that. Peyton, you want to be my attacker in this case. So from this position here, Peyton's doing, back up just a hair for me here, right about there. Peyton's doing that downward, from my shield position, right? So what I want to do is it intercepts here. I'm just turning the stick, right? But of course I'm not staying here. So once I've intercepted, as I step, it rolls around and it hits him. I check his arm, and then I swing this leg around, and I'm behind him now, right? It's that simple. It just simply turns. Boom, I just twist. Turn that stick to hit. And check him at the same time, swing the leg around. We'll switch places. So if you're there and I'm here, and same thing, a little bit this way on the right. There you go. Says he hits down, boom, here, and I'm intercepting. This is going to roll, and my other hand is important too. I want to check. I don't want to just drop that arm down, because then I'm kind of walking into his weapon. It's just grazing my arm, but it's still making contact. If I don't want that to make contact, here, boom, I'm brushing this down. Right? That left hand has a job to do. Brushes it down while that turns and hits. And then I'm already checking him. I'm around behind him now, doing whatever I need to follow up with. So he hits down, shield intercepts, this presses down, and you just turn as you step forward. And it's that simple. And bring it around. It's one of our easier defense options to get around behind him. So let's give that one a try off of the shield position, off of step 1, right? We'll go through the flow pattern a couple times, and then when you get back to 1, you just roll and come right around it. Let's give that a try. All right, good. So our high-low on the right side. High-low on the right side, we can get around them using this rotation right at the wrist, right? What they call an abanico, or a fanning hit there, which we're going to see more of. Incidentally, if we're going to use a lot of fans, it's a good idea just to fan a few times, get the wrist used to it, right? That type of motion. It's a good kind of stretch for it anyway, because we will be using that fanning idea as we move into some of our later patterns. Now the next step on this, right? Step 1 was here, 2 came around, attack the throat, 3 came down with that low wing, right? So this is our next defensive position, and we're going to look at a vine from this, so you're going to have their weapon as well. As you intercept here, and I check his hands, I'm going to check underneath, check in the hands, sliding down the stick so that I can grab it, because that's what we do with a vine, and then I'm essentially going to come like I'm doing a big downward block with this, right? Now that, if you hit them hard enough, could be enough to strip it. But really what helps is if you place the arm and with your left foot, you also step around, right? It can be possible to downward block hard enough to just strip this, But if you're moving that direction, it's already a lot harder for them to hold on to it. As you do that downward block, it'll strip it out and you'll have both weapons that way. So again, you're using this low wing, you're checking here at the hand, sliding down the stick. This comes to where the wrist is here, and I'm going to, like I'm doing a downward block here while I grab the stick, but also stepping forward with the left will strip it out, and you'll have both sticks in your hand at that point, right? So you can see what that looks like. Thomas, you want to be my attacker here. This is going to be our line right here. So yeah, if you're right about there. Now the attack in this case here is going to be where he's hitting inward with that, and you're using this low wing, right? Here's my low wing stop. Low wing to stop, and I'm checking his hand, stopping his hand as well. I slide down, I bring the puño end to where his wrist is. And yeah, if I hit it hard enough, and I could probably break his grip and have both sticks that way. But for it to really be a vine, and if he's just holding on to that sucker really hard, then what I want to do is bring it here and also step with the left, because that actually does the job better. I don't have to hit him hard if I just place my hand here and don't move it, and I step around my own arm. It peels out of his hand a lot easier, right? Forces him to not be able to hold it, peeling against his grip. So as we intercept here, I slide down. This comes to position by his hand. Strip it by stepping with the left. Now I have both weapons. Right? You'll come away with, we call that the downward fanning, right? Like we had upward fanning last time. Now this is the opposite. This is the downward fanning vine. And you'll have both weapons that way. Let's switch places. So if he's on the other side and he's swinging in and attacking, boom, I'm checking here. I bring this puño into the other side, grabbing the other end of the stick, stepping forward, and you can see it helps just prise it free of his hands. And you'll have both weapons at that point. Right? So we'll give that one a try now with our inward wing, using the downward fanning vine to come away with both weapons. All right, so from here, slides down. This comes here, and as I step forward, it strips it away. All right. I'm going to switch flip sides too, so you can see as it hits in here, and I'm checking. It's coming to this side of his hand, grabbing the other end, and all I have to do is step forward, and it comes away easy. And I have both weapons that way. That's the downward fanning vine. All right, so the last of the three for our right side high-low box drill, we're on our outward sweep position, which we've seen this before. We've done a couple of disarms from it. We'll do something a little different this time. As you come up to do the outward sweep, we've been checking with the palm this way where you can grab the thumb. We're actually going to turn the hand upside down this way. You're going to grab from underneath this time, right? And there's a lot of systems, not in the one we do, the Arnis de Mano, but there are other systems within the Philippines where anytime they go to grab to the right side, just about, they use it with a palm up. And the reason they do that is because they're assuming the other guy might have a bladed weapon, right? If I go and I check this way with palm down, I'm exposing this. I could get cut here if he's got a bladed weapon, right? Or if he's holding a knife in the other hand, I'm kind of giving him access to this. They don't want to do that. They always use the back of the hand instead. So when they come up and block, whether it's a shield or whether it's an outward sweep, they always use a palm up grip instead, which is a little bit irregular, right? Takes some getting used to, but it works as well for this next takedown pretty well, right? So we're going to show that option also. We're doing an outward sweep, but this hand's coming up and grabbing palm up here to hold the stick. And from here, I'm going to still use this. We're going to guide his stick and mine through his front knee. You'll step forward, and then like you're golfing, boom, right through his knee, right? Have him hit his own knee with both your stick and his. Outward sweep, grab, then step and guide it through his leg. The disarm happens when you come back. When you come back, we're going to use his leg, and we're going to pry his own stick free against his own leg, right, with the disarm that way. You can also use your own leg too if that doesn't work, but in this case, we're going to use his. It's outward sweep and grab, guide it down through the leg, and as it comes back the same way, it'll disarm them. So, Peyton, you want to be my disarmed opponent this time. I'm going to go here this time, right? So he's doing at this point that cut to the throat, right? So the flat one here, cutting him here, and I'm blocking here, right? Instead of grabbing palm down this time, I'm going to come up from underneath and grab, palm up this way, so that I'm not exposing this side of my hand, just in case his other hand had a knife. He could draw this back. If this was a bladed weapon, he could draw it back and be cutting me here, right? But from here, if he drew it back, he'd be cutting the back of my arm. Much better to take a cut on that side. So I'm using this, both of our sticks, through his own leg. We drive it down. When I come back, I want to make sure it catches on his own leg, but I keep traveling all the way through. And I use his own body to strip his weapon that way, right? Switch places. So I use this outward sweep with a catch here. I use both hands to guide it down and hit through his knee. Then when I come back, it's catching behind his leg, but you're driving through, and it just disarms him that way. Right? Now he doesn't have a weapon, and I do, which is what we want to, the position we want to be in. So we're going to add that now with our outward sweep and catch through the leg, and then come right back the way you came, using the back of his own leg as the means to kind of pry the weapon free. You also want to, instead of catching it here, get the hand as close to the leg as possible, right? You don't want, back here they might be able to fight it a little bit, but you've got a lot of leverage. If you bring that hand real close to his own leg, it'll strip it free, right? So we'll give that one a try. All right, so catching it here, I drive it down through the leg. As I come back, I want to get his hand as close to his leg as possible to drive that through, and that'll disarm it for him.